Here's a sign of a bad employer or bad boss. Have you seen this sign before? Or maybe you're experiencing it at the moment. What this sign is when your boss sets a performance target for you that's unrealistic, that's not achievable, that's unfair. That's a sign of a bad boss. Let me explain. In a lot of companies, they set performance goals and people are measured throughout the year and at the end of the year based on these performance goals. And their pay increases depend on achieving these performance goals. But unfortunately, there are some bad bosses out there that set the bar too high, making it not possible for people to fulfill their role to the satisfaction of that boss, which is not right. And what that does is it causes a lot of problems. It causes a lot of stress for people. For example, in some businesses, people that work, say, in a call center have been asked to make a certain number of calls per day, and they just keep raising that bar, making it very difficult for that employee. Or maybe if you're someone that works fixing faults, you may need to fix a certain number of faults per day. Or maybe you're in sales and you need to make a certain number of sales per month. That's unrealistic. And this is, like I said, not right, not fair, and it puts the employee in a weak position and puts the employer in a strong position where they can not give pay increases at the end of the year and also use this information to say that you failed and that we're going to let go of you. So you need to be aware of these situations and do what you can to protect yourself. And one thing I suggest is when you do get given these unrealistic targets, question them. Ask your boss, number one, has anyone actually achieved this target? And if so, how did they do it? Ask them to provide you a step-by-step process that you can use to try and achieve the target. Also, if you've got targets that are dependent on other people and many factors, then obviously that becomes very tricky because it's out of your control. So you need to be able to document that, explain that if you don't end up achieving that target, which obviously you won't if it's not realistic. So I'd love to hear from you. Have you been given any unrealistic targets, unfair targets, where you feel like you're being set up for failure? In other words, not going to be able to get your pay increase at the end of the year, or they may use this against you to demote you or even get rid of you because you're not performing. And like I said, it's not right, it's unfair, and it's very odd that companies do this from a health and safety point of view, because a lot of companies keep talking about health and safety is their number one priority. But these kind of things actually make the workplace unsafe. I know of cases where I used to work where 2 people committed suicide because of this sign. One was someone that worked in a call center that was a high achiever, and they changed the targets, and this young lady couldn't achieve the targets because they weren't realistic, and she felt bad, like she was a failure, and she ended up committing suicide. And I remember listening to her sister talk about the situation and what happened to her and why she took her own life. And there was a second case where there was a guy, an elderly guy, who worked in the field fixing faults, and he was told to fix a certain number of faults per day and to kind of do temporary repairs, which he didn't agree with because they weren't long lasting. And he also took his own life because he just couldn't handle doing something that was against his values. So you can see that people putting unfair expectations on you does play with your mind, does cause mental stress, mental anguish, which affects your health. And to the extreme, some people, like I just gave you 2 real examples, end up taking their own life, which affects their family and also their work colleagues. So you need to be aware of the situation where you've been put under unfair targets, and you need to speak out and you need to defend yourself. Or another alternative is you need to look for another job or another employee who treats you with respect and treats you fairly. Now, if you are feeling lost or directionless in your career and you're thinking of getting some help, that's actually something that I specialize in. I've created an online course called Profitable Career Launcher, which will help you get career clarity and therefore direction. I'll put a link in the description. I also do private one-on-one coaching, and you can apply for that through the link in the description. So please let me know in the comments below if you have experienced unfair performance targets or whether you're actually experiencing it right now. I'll be interested to know. And also, if you're already subscribed to this channel, I'd like to thank you for your support and encouragement. And if you're not already subscribed and you're interested in this type of content from someone that's got over 45 years of working experience from employee to employer to business owner, and is also a certified life and workplace coach and has been coaching people for over 10 years now, then please consider hitting the subscribe button. You also want to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks for listening, and please give this video a thumbs up if you got some value from this video, and please do share it with someone that you know is experiencing workplace stress because of unrealistic performance targets. And if you've got any suggestions for future videos, please type in the comments below and I'll consider making a video on that subject. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.